recording. Now you can see my screen, right?
Yes, Krishna.
Okay, let me open the system first. Yeah. Now, till now, what we have worked on inbound integrations. Now we will be working on outbound integrations. Outbound integration is something where you will be pulling the data from IBP and sending it to flat file or S4. We will be seeing the two scenarios. Till now, what we have done, we put sent it to IBP. Correct. Now we are going to pull it out of IBP. So I said, let's take an example of demand planning. So once we send that product master data, customer data, all the related master data of demand planning to IBP, and key figures like actuals quantity, actuals revenue, everything is sent to IBP, right? Then in IBP, they do calculations and they get the required results out of IBP. Clear? So to once the result are out from IBP, we will be sending it to S4 system and flat file system as per the client requirement. So generally, the final output of the final output of demand planning. Uh, Rajmani, any idea what will be the final output key figure of IBP for demand planning?
I know. No, Krishna.
So that is the consensus demand. So final
Okay.
output key figure of IBP demand planning is consensus demand. So what they does, so once we send this all these key figures and master data right, they do the demand planning. There is a different steps followed in demand planning, like outliner correction, master data governance, stat forecast. Once the stat forecast is in, they will create the consensus forecast. So consensus forecast demand is output of final output of demand. So once that results are ready, that consensus demand will be at the key figure level. So they will give you that, like how we have actual quantity key figure. In the same way, even in IBP for consensus demand, we will be having a key figure. So they will be providing us the key figure name. What we need to do, pull that consensus demand and send it to flat file or SAP as for system as per their requirement. So the consensus demand in S4 is known as PIR. PIR stands for Plant Independent Requirement. So what is the use of demand planning? They will forecast the demand. So forecasted demand, they will need to send it to the planners and they need to send it, use it, right? To use it, they will send bring it out of IBP and send it to them. So that is known as outbound integration. Majorly we will be working on consensus demand outbound integration. And first for that, again our basic funda, we need to create the data stores for source and target. Next we need to start digging the import tables and doing it. Okay, now let's go to data store, and in data store in IBP we have four folders here. What are those four folders, Ravani, when you want to import a table from IBP?
Import.
What are the four folders you can see from IBP when you import, if you want to import a table?
Master data folder, calculation scenario, time series, and calendar folder.
Yes. So those four folders, right? Till now we work with master data folder and transactional data folder, that is time series folder. So the difference between the time series folder and the calculation scenario folder is, when we are sending the data to IBP, the key figure data to IBP, we will be using time series folder. When we are pulling out the data from IBP, that consensus demand output, final output, we will be pulling it from calculation scenario folder. Correct? Now again in the calculation scenarios, you will be having the planning levels. We will go to our unified planning level, UNIPA calculation scenario. So here you will be having downstream, downside, upside, and base planning level. So we will go with the unified base planning level, SAP IBP1 unified planning level. This one. This is upside. This is downside. So now we will go with the base planning UOM SAP IBP and click on import. So this will be our source key figure table. In this we will be having the source key figure tables. Now we'll go to a flat file target. We will create a target table name. How to create a table? What all the what all the options we have to create a table?
Created from table, created from scratch, some from sample.
Exactly. We will go with scratch. What are the four fields? Base planning level, whatever is provided for that particular IBP key figure, they will be saying that. So those base planning level will need to be provided here as fields. So what is our base planning level for consensus demand is 99.99999 projects will have the base planning level of consensus demand at prod lock level only. Product and location level. So what I will do, I will create one for product ID. No, table name, right? Consensus. In consensus, one is product ID. One is lock ID. One is C underscore demand. That is consensus demand. That will be always decimal. 18 is to 3. KF date, KF underscore date. Date format. Click on submit. So clear, this will be the output of a consensus demand. And now source is pulled, target is ready. Let's go to project, create a task, IBP underscore outbound. I don't know whether data is there in outbound flat file or not, because I am not it need to be as it is S4, some data will be there, but it is IBP, right? If someone has done planning at that level, they will be having it. As this is a training system, I doubt if there is data or not. Okay. Outbound. Click on next. What is our source system? IBP. Next. Fifth target. Consensus. Create data flow. DF underscore OCD. OCD stands for outbound consensus demand. Now select the source file. This is the one, right? Select the transform. PRD ID. Map the PRD ID. No, description. Why do we need description? Location ID. Why can't you see TF date Prakash money? When you are mapping it to IBP, you are able to see key figure date. But why there is no
Yes.
field called as key figure date here?
It will be TSTFR, I guess, Krishna.
It will be TSTFR. Why not key figure data? My question is. So okay. So what happens when we have TSTFR? So they will ask this type of questions in interview. That's why I'm just
Okay.
pointing out. Yeah.
Um,
So TSTFR is a field where the date and time will be available. And what is the other field you will be having?
Period ID, Krishna.
Exactly. Period ID. So we have multiple period IDs. Do
Yeah,
you know what each period ID does?
exactly. I don't know, but a period ID N we have 0, 1, as yeah, like this.
Zero, some weekly, monthly, yearly.
Exactly. Let me share you a document. Period ID in SAP CPADS. Is this what I'm looking? Yeah. So if you see here, period ID 0, daily periods. 1 is yearly, 2 is monthly, 3 is weekly, 4 is technical week. Wait, let me not use this SAP document. There should be some document from community. Yeah, this will be clear. I am sharing you this document. You can just go through this. So it clearly says what is the use of this period IDs. So if
Okay.
we have data at weekly level, we will be using the period ID 5. So the combination of technical week is 5, week is
Okay.
4, day is 0. This is the lowest granular level of particular day. So if you want the data at day level, you will be pulling it from the period ID 0,
Okay.
assigning that particular period ID to 0. If you want it at the month level, you will be doing it at period ID 3. If it is just quarter, you will be using period ID 2. If it is year, period ID 1.
Okay.
This is the planning filter periods. They use it in IBP. And you can see multiple filters here, how to change it from one period to other period. So here, if you see here, not one period to other period, see here, when you want to, just a second. Can someone, if you are able to see my screen, can someone say me what is the what does this does filter does? See, I will share you this document. Go through this. We will discuss this topic again once you go through this document. Period ID 1 is less than or equal to 0, and period ID 1 is greater than or equal to 0. We'll extract the exact key figure data for year 2019. This year in period ID 1 value of 0 in this example 2019. So 0 is the current year, and period ID 1 what does period ID 1 stands for? You see here, period ID stands for year. So for less than, I mean, starting from this year to ending of this year, whatever the data is there, they need to pull those data. So they are writing this filter: period ID 1 is less than or equal to 0, period ID 1 is greater than or equal to 0. Next, how to write the TSTFR. Okay, one document, let me share it with you. This is one document you need to go through. And next, what we will do, we'll just first complete the flat file integration. Then when we go to S4 integration, you will be having all these fields of period ID. My problem is whether I need to check whether there is data in IBP or not, because I never touched the IBP system of training. So TS will be KF trigger date. First, let me see if there is consensus demand key figure or not. Z consensus not there. Consensus adjusted constraint in the consensus calculation quantity consensus demand. So this is the key figure. We need to do it like this, mapping, close it. Let's first see whether we have data or not. C data will be connected to C data. No issues. Let us run this. Not an issue. It's a training system only, right? Validate. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Let's first check this. If it runs success, I need to check whether the data is there or not first. Perfect amount records. Okay, 9 records are generated. So there is some data for you to practice as well. Great. So let me go to our RDP system and show you how the data is pulled. Even it is a master data or anything, if you want to load into file, this is only the step which I have not covered while doing this is the calculation what I have written. If then else conditions, that if then else conditions we will be seeing it while sending to S4 now, so that I did not I just copy pasted it the same way. The password ABP underscore DS. Oh, sorry. See, the consensus demand has been pulled. So because the base planning level is at product location only, it is pulled. So if there is not there, no, you got null values. So if you eradicate this null value, if there is no exact data sitting there, that's the reason you are getting at the null values as well. But generally, this is how we will be pulling the data of consensus demand to a flat file. If you have the original data, it will be better understanding when you are pulling it to a flat file. Sending to flat file is a last scenario where you will be using this file to place in any other non-SAP systems like Oracle, SQL or anything, which we direct cannot. Sorry, not even SQL. If we are not able to send this data directly to that particular system, then we will create a flat file and provide to that system so that that system will upload it manually. That is IB to flat file integration. Now let's see about IBP to I already created, right? IBP to S4 direct integration. So this is most important topic of a complete CIDS training because this will only be one or two tasks in complete project. Everywhere complete project you will be working on inbound only. The final touch up will be the outbound job. Right? No need to create it from scratch. You will be having direct templates provided by SAP for this consensus underscore. Let's take demand. As I said, it is called as PIR. I think that last release was 2108. You need to click on this. You need to click on next. Source will be IBP. Next, target will be a, now our expected target is S4, but here virtually it is S4, but really practically when we are doing it, we will be taking it as flat file. Between these two configurations, we will be, sorry, where is, I used it, right? Well, it's not getting populated. This one, yes. So if you see, this is the whole task. Many people will get afraid by seeing this much big task, but it is very simple. For this task, how to do it, what to do it from end to end, we had a document provided by SAP. Let me open the document. Which document is it? I just said I will be sharing you one document, right? Just this is the document. IBP integration of plant independent requirement to S4 or S4 HANA. So these are the steps involved from IBP side, S4 side, and CPIDS side. So what happens in CPIDS, to do this activity, we need function modules created on S4 system. So some setup need to be done from ABAP team. So if you share this document with them, They will give the setup and make it ready. So once that everything is ready, here are the steps directly we will be having what need to be done on CPIDS end. Let me go to that steps where it is create data store. Okay, now these are the steps. This is from S4 to IBP. Where is IBP to S4? For the objects. Okay, 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 okay. Got it. Now, first we need to create the data store for IBP, and we need to import the tables whatever is required. With like this, you know how to create the IBP data store, right? That is just provided here. Like what details need to be provided. So once those details are provided, import object into data store. So in object you will be create data store. Sorry, excuse me. Where is our okay? So again, create a data store for file. The file will be output here. If you see this integration model, the output is a file because we cannot directly send the we cannot directly write the data into ECC tables. So to write the data into ECC tables, we will be using function modules. So what is a function module? Function module is an ABAP based script where all the scrap tables and data however it is required it is written. So those ABAP function modules will be called in this RFC calls. So Money, you are asking about XML mapping and RFC calls, which we are not discussed, right?
Yes, yes, Krishna.
Those are used in such tasks like here when we are sending data to ECC, we will only send it in the batch format, and if the mapping will be XML mapping. Okay, and if the when we are creating that function module, when we are calling that function module, how to call that function module? Let me go through this. Close. Just I'll click on why it is not editable. I just click on edit. Click on edit. What this is a generic task already provided by SAP. You can directly use it. How you will use it? You will change the source file. Whatever is the source table is IBP table is there, that you will pull. Next you will do the mapping in mapping query. So all these steps are already provided in that document. So if you have that document handy, you are done with flat file integration. Now, sorry, IBP outbound integration. Now RFC call. What I will do, I'll just delete this RFC call. I'll call this web services here. So when there is a web service available here, here I think it is not okay. Here if you see, these are the web services you will be seeing. Just click on whatever is provided in the system and the same map it. So when you have a function module or RFC calls details provided by your team, you need to pull it. And what I will do, I'll just map as per the document. CTP number to CTP number. Package number to package number. So like this, we will be mapping in web services call. Again, we will map it to the target. This is one step we need to change. Where is the other step? Uh, is it the task? Just a second. It's a version of this task. Just a second. Create task. PIR. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, that's all. You need to follow all the steps, how to change, make the changes to this particular task using this document, and get it fixed. So I'll share you this document right away. This is all about outbound integration. I'll show you once. Let me stop the recording, and I will show you the current project which we have what I have done with this outbound. So how does it look?